This is back to 99 with another legend video of mine. This is the legend of Sweet Dick Randy. He's sort of a unconventional ladies man. Um, he kind of hangs out like if you go to the bar with him, Sweet Dick Randy. He hangs in the back. He doesn't really say a lot of things, so you have to like, if you guys are engaging like a group of girls, you have to talk. And Sweet Dick Randy, he just chills out, man. And so if you're trying to keep the conversation going and be kind of outgoing, you might say something to put your foot in your mouth, as the expression goes. And then by proxy, Sweet Dick Randy's just chilling. So he seems a little more interesting or detached or whatever. And next thing the girl's like, yeah, I just want to talk to Randy. And you're like, damn, I just got sweet dicked, because the girl, she thinks Randy's something special. And you're like, no, Randy's just boring, but he's just chilling. But they'll find that out later. But yes, I had a friend and his name was Sweet Dick. I called him Sweet Dick Randy. So here we have the Klay Thompson build. They call it a wing sniper is the build name. I think 2K kind of did him a disservice because obviously clearly this says inspired by, right? So because it's a Pro Toon build, it's not the exact 1-for-1 NBA ratio, but you can see that on the right side of your screen, he only has one legend band badge off rip because of his wingspan. They should have made it a 6'6" wingspan, and then he could have went all the way up to 99 on the mid range, and he could have had Hall of Fame badges all around, even if they wanted to give him a lower three ball. So if you look at his speed, it's kind of meh. 76 kind of meh. All that shit. Perimeter defense is a 74. It's like stop the cap. Um, Pass accuracy is a 78. Why does he even have a drive and dunk? So I pretty much with my Sweet Dick Randy build, I'm going to say Sweet Dick a couple more times. But mine is better, So we're leaving what 2K did and we're heading over to what I did. So I made him smaller because this is inspired by Klay Thompson. You see on mine, I got the shades of him. Different name than Wing Sniper. It's just a kind of the generic sharpshooter name this year, two-way catch and shoot ace. But as you see, like I said, Klay Thompson is in the shades. And I don't know, I'm going to walk you through this, the Sweet Dick Randy version of this. He's an NBA 2K legend. The best part about this build is obviously we're going for limitless range on our Klay Thompson. So, sort of an industry standard for this channel. I rarely ever. I mean, I guess Philly Lou Bird looks at the rim, but most times I don't look at the rim. I'm not even concerned. I don't ever want to see you try to do a layup on this build. One of the things you could do maybe is put your Paint Prodigy +1 it to silver. So if you absolutely end up underneath the basket and you're, next to someone that's close to your height, and when you go into your matches, you look at your guy's interior defense. If he doesn't really have any, flick it up, right? But if you have a center, you kick the fucking ball out, right? Or don't even be down there, better yet. So we went with a 92 mid-range. We'll come back to the mid-range a little later, but it's a 92. You have a 96 3-point off rip, so that means that you're going to use your starter three. Three of those cap breakers to push it to a 99. And then the following two cap breakers you're going to use on your perimeter defense to make it a 92. So at the end of your starter three journey, you'll have a 92 perimeter and a 99 3-point. The free throw is a 72, which is just bare minimum, but it works, especially in situations where you are fouled doing something within your attributes or whatever. I don't have any build with a 90 or higher or 80, so I don't know what it's like to do that. But when you have a low free throw rating, if you're doing something crazy like trying to take a layup on a center and he fouls you, you're gonna miss because the game doesn't give you. It just judges what you did because it's like it's not in your wheelhouse. But if they foul you on like reaching or doing a jump shot, you have a great chance to make your free throws. So if you go down to the pass accuracy, it's a 79. This is sort of bare minimum. Theoretically, you could use one of your season cap breakers to turn this to an 80, and it would give you access to Orchestrator. And also, I mean, you might already have it, but Offensive Architect is a passing takeover that you get access to on this build. So theoretically, if you ran Orchestrator, because your shooting badges are so high and you're just confident you're not badge made or takeover made, you could run the Orchestrator and you can have a 95 passing from the small forward position. These ball handle is a 72. This build is exactly what it says in the name. It was They called it a wing sniper. My build is called a two-way catch and shoot ace. You're here for the catch and shoot. You're not trying to dribble. You're not trying to sauce. You're moving around and you're getting to your spots. And when you catch the ball, you're pulling it up. The speed ball is a 77. That's primarily going to help you get to your mid-range pull-up. Theoretically, if you got to veteran 2 on this build, if you wanted to, you could plus up your speed with ball. And I guess you could go up to an 82, and that would just make you a little faster in those scenarios where you want to make a little quick sprint to the spot in the mid to shoot. We gave you a 70 interior defense just in case you get placed onto a build that can dunk a little bit. You can still represent yourself well down there. Like obviously you'll get dunked on sometimes, but it's better than having a 50 or no interior defense, because you do have to guard. You might have to guard a 6'10 sometimes. And even if he does dunk on you, that's still fine, because when you're playing defense, you want to give up. You don't want to give up. I guess let me frame it this way. Giving up a 2, it's not bad, especially when you got your hands up and you're doing everything you can do. If they get a 2 off on you, that's great, because at least they didn't take a 3, right? And so when you get the ball back on the other side, you're cashing out from 3, from the mid range, from anywhere you want, right? So, and if you don't have a shot, you swing the ball. Now, if you're guarding someone that doesn't dunk or doesn't have a high dunking, or when you're guarding the perimeter, you have your 62 block, your 92 perimeter defense. Since your shooting badges are going to be legend, you could plus one of your defensive badges. So you can have Hall of Fame challenger, or you could go to, I would recommend off ball menace, because that just gives you more clamp animations or whatever. Theoretically, you could run 3 and D on this build, and you would have a 99 perimeter. So from the guarding the line, the 3-point line, you're going to be immaculate. Anything on the perimeter, you're great. If they dunk on you, so what, right? But you're going to your speed, you're going to have a 92 agility, which also could be cap broken up, to a +5 to get you to a 97. We have an 88 perimeter, and that's just to get us slippery off ball on Hall of Fame. You have a 54 strength, which is, if you think about the 2K ratings, they're like grades, you know what I'm saying? So a 54 is probably an F, or like a D, or I guess a D would be a 60. So this is like an F, but let's round it up for, extra credit. I think this is like a D rating. So you'll be able to get a little bumpy, marginally bumpy, right? But what's going to back you up is the perimeter defense and your badges, because to me it fluctuates from scenario to scenario. So the 54 strength on the perimeter is different, especially with your speed and your rating. It's different from when you get to the post. That's a different type of 54, because you have no post control, right? And would you have a little bit of interior, but that's mostly, hands up or whatever. So then when you get to the vertical is just nothing to talk about. It's just 62. So, all in all, I think this is a better version of um, Clay Thompson as a sort of not a shooting guard. I mean, you can make the same build at shooting guard, but this is more like, if you're on a team, like if I was making my team, um, you could have a shooting guard who could be 6'8", right? And so he's a tall shooting guard. I'd have him be minimum wingspan and 86'3", and he can run spot up shooter, have a 96 3-point shot, and so he'd be you know wreaking havoc, doing a little dunking, doing whatever the hell he's doing, and you're on the wing, right? And you have limitless range from the wing. You have everything you need to do to shoot a midi, and you're locking up whoever their shooting guard is. So I don't know. I think it could be interesting. And then whatever your point guard is, I hope he shoots threes too. So um, I think we can end it right there. Basically, this is what I call the Sweet Dick Randy build. So this is Lord Beckton. Um, Beckton out.